been a couple of weeks, isn't it, since I've done anything on the car. Family's got in the way. Not in the way, that's the wrong thing to say. Been doing stuff, so long weekend camping and generally work and things like that. Longer days mean more things to do other than tinker around with the car. But I have been busy. It hasn't been total waste of time. So turn the camera around, show you what I've been up to. Not on the car really, more with the welder. And tell you what the plan is for today. So I managed to get a new gas bottle. There you go. Exciting stuff. So managed to get it from the same place the previous bottle was. Just from weight alone, I can tell that the other one was pretty much empty anyway. This is, I'd say it's more than twice as heavy. Well, not more than twice. It's a lot heavier. So plenty of gas there, as long as I remember to switch it off. So we got to here last time, which, coming back to it after a little bit of a break, is nice to see, isn't it? Now, I've been thinking, actually, over the time, this all lines up relatively well. And I think last time I was talking about patching in this part here, because the old footplate area doesn't match the inner wing, and I can't bring that together anymore. So, to be quite honest with you, I'm probably going to today take this out. I think that's the best way to take things forward. So cut here, take this one single bolt out and make a piece up that can then pull this all together. This is pretty rusty anyway. There's a number of layers of patches on there. It just seems to make a lot more sense. That way I can at least tidy this all up, clamp it all together, and actually make a proper job of it. I don't think I'll be welding any of this up today, but I'll certainly try and make this piece. So that's the plan. Oh, and I was mentioning last time about the strengthening plates that go underneath the floor here. And I'll turn the camera off and you can see, you know, wondering where they go, and I couldn't find anything. And of course I've still got the rusty old metal here. So let's have a look together. And there you go. That's where they go. And there's Jack. Hello, Jack. So one seems to be tacked through the middle, one just there with a flat piece on it. I think it's got a flat piece as well. So yeah, when I say flat piece, you know, this part here. So I think I know I can now work this out. So I've got to do I have to take the old one? I do have to take the floor pan out, because otherwise I'm welding upside down again on that, and I don't really want to do that. So that's another little job to do as well. So yeah, that's about it. So I'm going to start with the, oh, here comes Phoebe. Hello, Phoebe. Yes, she's so cute. Going to make a start on it now, start templating and cutting. So the bolt's out. So looking at it more closely with a bit of light, you can see there's been a number of repairs through here. I think this is the line here where the floor pan, the original, not original, but the old floor plan was welded in. And this part here is something similar that I think I'm going to be doing today. So this is like an infill section. You can see it here that's been plated in. It's lapped as well. So what I'm probably going to do is cut here where the rust is, or above the rust, and then I can pull that section out. That's the plan anyway. Well, that came out with no major dramas. Pretty pleased with it. So you can see how many layers of welding has happened here. Probably best that I have just cut it out. So this is the line of the old floor pan, and that's sort of like the footplate area. So this is the bit that's been patched in at some point over the years, and this is the area that has sort of been welded and welded and welded, and wasn't far enough over to the right, as you see it now, to reach onto the inner wing. So there you go. Bing. So I can use this to template out some of it, left hand side really. I'm going to lap these welds. There's no point in trying to do anything too precious with it. As long as it lines up and it seals it all together and gives strength back in this corner, that's all I'm really looking for. I can't really weld, well maybe I can. I'm going to see how easy it is to Now I do also need to take the floor back out, don't I, to put the strengthening sections in. Oh, and the music's come back on. That's weird. Ooh. I bet my kids have done that. So anyway, that's the plan. So I'm going to start templating. I'll bring the camera in when there's something to show. Cut out the piece. I mean, it's not winning any awards, but it does the trick. Use the square edge off of the sheet there to create a square bottom, and a square side. It's give me some. I've got some lapping on the floor pan already, so I don't need to account for that. And this allows me for some lapping at the top near the footplate. And this part here I can then bring over. I don't know how well this is going to work. I might need to cut this off and actually put in a like a piece, weld a piece along the side, but we'll give it a go. I'd rather do it this. See, as I bend them out, they'll come together rather than apart, so it should work. We'll see. But there we are. So we'll start. The reason I've lined it up, I just need to drill this hole here. That'll be really handy actually when I'm putting this in place, because I can then bolt it back down again and it won't move, and it will help me keep things together. Okay, so first sort of bender-rooney put in place. Seems reasonably okay. I haven't lined it up yet, so I'm not expecting much, to be honest with you. This is the first attempt. Let's just see how it goes. Now remember, I'm trying to lap at the top here and tuck in underneath there. And what I'm really trying to do is close up this gap here on the right hand side. I'm going to struggle to do this, I think. I don't know how that's going to come out. I'm going to put the camera there. I can't see what you can see. So this may be terrible. Maybe some of the best photography in the world. I don't know. So if I get the Poundland screwdriver, which I've damaged somehow. Well, I know how. It's been an angle grinder. I mean, that would tend to do it. So I've got a bolt in here, which I could loosen off, but I'm quite happy to leave that in for the time being. Let's just try and release some of the pressure on there. Okay, so I think I'm a little bit off here. I'm quite a lot off. So this side here, that needs pulling in a little bit, and then that should allow that to move over a little bit. So a bit more jiggery pokery needed. We have the welding expert herself coming to have a quick look. Phoebe, excuse me, come in. What are we thinking about the proof of concept? What do you mean I don't pay you enough? Oh, I don't sulk about it. Life. Anyway, proof of concept is done. And whoop, ain't too shabby. So this obviously needs a bit of bending and tidying up and what have you. But I'm hoping maybe today I can get that plate in. Not weld it onto the floor pan, but clean all this up and weld it into here. Just into there really, that's all I can do. I've got the bolt in, that's not even tight. On this side, got a few clamps in place. So it's quite nice. I say quite nice, it's not nice at all, is it? It's together through here. This point here is a bit of a pinch. I'm partly tempted to turn this part upwards so it goes inwards. But I think once I start getting into it and clubbing it with a bit of a hammer, it should be okay. I can push this bit back. You can see I've had a go here because, I mean, I don't know who's been following, but this was all welded up quite some time ago, so I haven't really got much of an opportunity to mess around with that. So yeah, that's the plan. Be good to get that panel in, wouldn't it? That'd be a nice step forwards. So I'll be taking this out now, even though I've just put it in. Spray that up with primer. Once that's done, once it's sprayed, I can then start getting in there with the wire brush. I just need to clean across the top there, and then I can weld it. So I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to wire brush that bit off. But I think before I do any of that, I'm going to have a cup of coffee, and I might even have a biscuit. What do you think, bunnies? What do you think? I don't think they think much. Well, it wasn't quite as dry as I thought. I turned it over and it's still soaking wet, so I've popped it here. See if it's not a sunny day, unfortunately. So, I know it's drying a bit quicker now. So that's good. Maybe another 15 minutes. But here's the bits and pieces that I needed. So I've got some. So these are the strengthening sections that I was mentioning that go onto the floor pan. What does it look like? We do have any flat bits that I was mentioning, but we do have, it's profiled, so, I don't know, looks about right, doesn't it? We'll make it work. And then something I forgot to order, but I now have, dong, bang, crash, some replacement hinge posts. So I'm not really intending on taking them all off, but I'm not very prepared for this, am I? There we are. So there we go. The bottom is definitely rotten, and that's not rotten. So we're gonna. What's this for? What's that for, Daddy? What is that for? That funny bracket. That. Am I going mad? Is this even the right bit? Goodness, I don't know what that's for. Well, if anyone can tell me what that funny bit's for, that'd be great. Either mine's dropped off, or I never had one. How peculiar. So it sits right there. Oh, I want to work it out. I think mine might have had one, but it's fallen off. That goes on there, that goes on there. Is it? Does the wing cloak it? And that's like a position to... Oh, I don't know. If anyone knows, please let me know. That's a bit peculiar. But anyway, unless I've got the wrong ones, but these I don't think so. There's only one type for all the models for all the years, so we'll see. Look, Henrik stamped on there. That's good, isn't it? Okay, that should be dried. Let's get back to why the gas bottle was much heavier. It's much bigger, and the hose pipe that I have isn't long enough. God, I'm not too sure this is I mean, it's a good purchase, I think, but it is a faff. So I'm going to have to get a longer hose. So that's all clamped in place now, which I'm quite pleased with. I'm going to start by getting a couple of spots in here, maybe try and tickle one in there, and also come along the top here where it's all been cleaned. Maybe get a couple, maybe try and bring the seam together, but we can start with the spots at least. Start closing things up properly, which will be good once I get this old girl going. So a bit more faffing around. I imagine the next thing you're going to see is some welding, hopefully. That's the plan anyway. I struggled dialing in the welder. So we've obviously got... Oh, let's turn that off now. Closed. Let's turn it off. Well done, me. Remembered. Struggled at first. Just dialing it in. Here, it blobbed up loads. I mean, I've got a few sort of spot weld type things on there. So it's holding fine, and then coming around the inside it started to dial in a bit better. I need to go through it again. Not some sanded it down, and I need to clean up the top here, although I'm probably not going to weld that. Probably just going to do seam sealer on there, and that's it. So I suppose there's a bit of smoke that worries me. I don't know where that's coming from. I'll hang around here for a little bit longer until I'm sure that there's no smouldering anywhere. What's next? So next time, clean this off a bit more, clean that down, a bit more welding, then take the floor out, put on the strengthening pieces, put the floor back in, and then weld the floor in. That'd be a lovely thing to do, wouldn't it? That'd be really great. So that's the plan anyway. Then once the floor's in, we can attempt the sills and the hinges, or the hinge posts, and the I think they call it a kidney scuttle plate, something like that. It's got a weird name. This piece here, which is totally disintegrated, which I think it's called a kidney because of that funny pressing there. But anyway, doesn't matter. I'm struggling to find any of them, so that may be a repair. But anyway, it's all in the future, isn't it? But once this floor is in, I'll be very happy actually. We've got a bit of strength back in the car, and we can start on the other side, or take the cab off. I don't know what we can do. We'll work it out. But anyway, that'll do for the time being. Family duty is cool. I spent a good few hours out today. And thank you very much. Cheers.